1 2 cheese crisps.
1 2 1 2 cheese crisps.
There you go. Just move that up and in for you a wee bit. How's that?
That's perfect, thank you.
Perfect.
Cheesy crispy, thank you.
As you can tell, people, on our 4th episode, we have none other than Maw Bartlett. You're very welcome, Mama.
Thanks very much. Just to let all the peasants out there know that I have one agent that does comedy and another one that does music. And
who's your favourite?
And for my sins, I have to let on to the two of them. They're the favourites, you know.
So you're very welcome up to the humble abode.
Thank you very much.
And we're going to talk
music.
We're going to talk music, but we're going to talk about other things as well. I'm sure we'll fall into different things. But yeah, Cheese Crisps is all about the tunes, and I must say that you and Daddy were my main influence on music. So that's where it all started. Was when we were younger, at birthday parties and stuff like that.
Right.
Playing, Daddy getting the guitar down, you singing, Daddy singing, then all of us doing our party pieces. But I'm very well aware that it all started way before that for you.
Very much so. Unfortunately, at school, I was so good at music that they gave me a triangle to play, you know, and I was good at it, I'm sure. I think they gave me it twice and took it off me, and that was it.
Was it the rhythm you couldn't get or the pitch?
The old bitch of a teacher thought I couldn't do it, but you know, she didn't really. You know, there was a girl in the class who could play the violin, and she was trundled out for everything.
Yeah. Was she violin or fiddle?
Oh no, violin.
Oh,
very much violin.
Right.
She is no longer with us. That's not because she played the violin, like, but she took it too seriously.
Took your spotlight and you finished
her. No, she tried. So then she went on to the double bass and she tried to get it under her chin. She killed herself.
Suffocated. But would you have been singing in the house? Was there music in the house when you were younger?
Always music. My daddy,
like
as he went about the house, the radio was always on.
Right.
Now we're going back here now, folks, to the 1950s.
Would it have been the wireless?
Yes, I tried to bring myself up to date and say the radio, but it was the wireless, yes. And it would have been on first thing in the morning, even when we were having our breakfast. And, you know, there was like sponsored programs in those days, so they would have always, you didn't know you were listening to classical music, but you were listening to classical music on the introductions and all. And Daddy, Mummy wasn't really a good singer, God love her. She had the Old Maid in the Garret, and that was, she trundled that out every party. But Daddy would have sung all the time, even if he was going about the house, even as you were helping him, maybe doing the dishes with him or something like that. He was always singing, and you learnt the song sort of, you know, at his knee, like kind of, you know. So,
but he didn't play an instrument or anything.
No, well, he could play the mouth organ.
Right.
And he did play it. But
actually, you know what? I was going to say to you there, I can't remember him playing the mouth organ, but I can remember it was a chromatic one,
yes,
with a wee button on the side.
On the side of it. And he really did try to master it. God help him, I suppose, financially, he couldn't have afforded to buy, you know, the top of the range ones. And I did try, when I started going with your dad, to try and learn the guitar because I thought that would impress him, you know, near killed me.
Would impress Daddy or Granda?
I thought it would impress everybody.
And
would have impressed me if I'd learned. But it near killed my fingers. You know the way you go now, my fingers are short.
After about 20 gigs.
Yes, but I know it's after 20 minutes.
And
I give it up.
But you have to,
I tried.
For any people out there who are looking to do that,
I know I'm going to move here, and you'll probably shout at me. But
whatever way you're comfortable. What have you done?
I want to show you what I brought with me.
Jesus Christ, I knew.
You didn't?
I knew there was something.
Right, I brought this with me because I thought you might be able to help me with it.
Right, go on.
I brought my pedal.
Right. I know what this is off.
And I brought my guitar. Look at that. So... Really here, folks, look. I just thought maybe,
give us a tune then.
I thought your friends that were coming on this would say, you know, like this would impress Brona, wouldn't it?
Impress everybody.
This would impress, really. And I went out and bought this yesterday.
Another female guitarist.
It's actually going to go into a charity show for some Jay for Christmas, so I can't damage it.
Well, I mean, I'm not expecting Jimi Hendrix, but go on. give us a tune.
I can't do it. I only got half an hour ago.
Play something on it. What's that? That's your... You might find it easier playing it this way, right?
That way?
Yeah, this is your whammy bar. So that's like you're picking it. Then that's your whammy bar.
Same nearly as good as that as it was on the real
and then
guitar.
What are these we've got? Oh, Jesus,
pre-recorded.
pre-loaded tunes.
Look,
And can you jam along them?
I'm sure you could.
That's class.
It said it would take you 15 minutes to learn. It would
Right,
probably, even on this guitar, would take me about 15
come on,
years.
keep going,
No,
mate.
it will not indeed.
Let me see
It was only for a joke.
Well, it was a good
You
joke.
need to
but
turn it on.
You can't do this. You can't bring...
Did you like my pedal?
I did. Our pedal is off our sewing machine, I think.
It is. I tried to get one off a bike, but we couldn't get it off.
Jesus, there goes the water around the back of the computer.
Didn't go wrong.
Let me see.
You can be a rock star.
Here,
with
here.
it.
Hear the train a-coming, rolling round the bend. I ain't seen
Johnny
the
Cash
sunshine.
will be
I
turning
don't
in
know
his
when.
grave.
That's class.
Right.
That's a cracking toy. Let me see. There's a wee demo on it.
I really didn't think he'd get all into this. It was only for a joke.
I'm a gear monster.
Well, turn it off
No.
and get on with talking about real stuff.
Hang on. I want to see if you can get a wee tuner.
Can you play, Grace? Put it down.
The chant of the Friday and Saturday nights in Belfast.
You could play.
There you go.
Could just
That's-
for me. You could play. She's a
That's her
melter on it.
cracking, and that's her pedal of her sewing machine.
Well, it was only for
Glue
a
bag,
joke.
glue bag.
because, like,
I knew
thought
there was something
I'd
going
have
on
to bring it in a bit
when
of
our Sheila
comedy,
brought you up.
You know, so let's
well.
talk about music.
So what were we talking about there? That's
Well, sort of, my daddy playing the
Yeah.
mouth organ and singing.
oh, and your fingers were sore. Did
And
you
he would-
actually? Sorry, did you actually try to learn the guitar?
I did. I actually
right.
did.
For
But
how
I
long?
mean,
An hour.
when I was trying to impress your daddy, I probably
Right.
stuck it longer than I should have. But
Right,
like,
okay.
it didn't impress him because he knew I was shit at it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that was it.
That was it. Thrown to the
And,
side.
yeah, absolutely.
And was it Daddy's guitar you were playing on? Or?
Yes. And then just, I would have loved it. Mary Hopkins at the time was sort of, nobody even knows who she was. Let's go back to the 60s. But she sort of won one of the talent shows that was on the TV.
Right, okay.
And
Was
you
she
just
from
picked
here?
long hair, no. She was,
English?
I'm not sure if she was English or Scottish, the girl. But she became quite famous at that time. And you just thought, you'd be great if you could play the guitar. But I didn't need to, James. I did it and I sang.
Now, but then go back to where your earliest memory of music is, apart from Grandma singing in the house.
Well, let's go back to my prom, will I? I'm not being funny.
Yeah.
My prom sat right under the radio. And at the time, in the 50s, there was a song came out, Iron Goodnight.
Right.
And Daddy said one day it was on and I was going in my prom. Along with it. Couldn't say the words, but like everything else.
Yeah.
It was like my times tables. I couldn't remember the words, but I knew the tune. Right? 2 1 2 2 2 2 2. Right, I knew that. So that's sort of the way. Very musical. I'm sure.
Must have been a nightmare in an exam, were you? Just singing. You fuck up.
So yeah, we wouldn't have had like.
But you had a musical ear then, if you're picking that up.
Yes, and I did sing. They were doing a big concert one time in primary school. It was a big St. Patrick's Day concert. Looking back on it, it was probably, I think, a St. Patrick's, some kind of an anniversary. It would have been sort of 19. Yes, I'll tell you when it was. It was 1961, and
Right.
he died in 461.
Oh, St. Patrick. Right.
He couldn't sing either, but.
Was that in the Irish News,
So
his death column?
Was absolutely. Irish News was made a fortune that time. There was not many people put it in, but anyway, I think it was that 461. So it would have been right. What's that? 1500 years. So I remember we were taken to Saul down to. This was, just to see.
Yeah.
Saul and Downpatrick and that. and taken to his
where
grave.
St. Patrick was supposed to
where
be.
he isn't
headed
buried.
up.
Don't for 1 second think there's 3 of them buried in that grave in Down Patrick, but sure, it goes well with
The story.
the nonsense we all talk about, Giant's Causeway and Loch Ness and all that there. Anyway, it must have been for that, and we all had to get new dresses made and all, and I remember, Mummy made me the most beautiful dress.
What was it made out of?
Material?
Coconut shells and potato skins
No,
going.
it wasn't. It was taffeta, and it had...
Colour?
yes, it was beautiful. It was white underneath, and then it had white and like purple flowers was the over skirt off it, right? And a nice sash of purple around
Lovely.
it. Beautiful. Until I was sick.
On it?
No, I didn't even get to do the concert. Because we were sitting practicing one day, and the principal walked in, the teacher... oh, God knows where she's roasting. She was a bitch, right? And she knew I was sick, but she was not going to let me go home. And I was sitting right at the end of the stage, and the principal walked in, and she just went, let that child go home. She's not well. Yeah. And, like, I don't know how I got home that day, because it wasn't a case then of getting your mummy down, right? You went home on the bus. But I remember being so sick, and I just remember getting to the house, and the next thing I remember was the doctor was in there.
Seriously?
Yeah, really sick. So I didn't get to wear the dress because, I got to wear the dress, but I didn't get to the concert.
Didn't get to perform.
And then when I went to secondary school, then yes, I was in the school choir and that. Mm-hmm. But then it was all very mild, sort of the music, even the songs you learnt, like the Blue Danube and.
Didn't know there's words of that.
Oh, there's words and there's water, and so. Things like that, and there's a song, and you can get it on YouTube, and it's a really old-fashioned, like, it's called The Second Minuet.
Oh, okay.
Right?
What's that about?
Her going to the ball and meeting, so it's the granny telling the story of how she went to the ball and her new dress and all right. And Grandpapa and Grandmama had never even met.
Belfast, isn't it?
When Grandpapa asked Grandmama for the second minuet.
No. Well,
and that's all I'm saying. But that was that kind of, sort of daft old songs, like, But I suppose...
school,
but even school, and music in school...
It was all very
even in
formal,
secondary school, it was just the choir. You weren't learning. Nobody was ever asked, did they want to learn an instrument? They brought out barbells one time, and you were given it, and you were told, you hit that when I nod at you. You know what I mean? You didn't know if you were playing C minor, C sharp, whatever. Ding, ding. So it really wasn't. I'm not running the school down, darn. But it wasn't. You didn't have the opportunity.
Was it enjoyable? Like, did you get anything out of it, or? Not
really. You stood up, listen to this, girls. Now, this is called the Carnival of the Animals. Now, listen to the elephant. What?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Nothing was explained to you. Now, this will sound like, or this will...
Like an elephant?
Yes, like an elephant, like boom, 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 right? So...
I think you didn't know about animals, either. Did they not? Was the elephant not in the French horn or something?
I mean, and didn't I go away? How the hell would I know? I don't know. I would know that now because my one regret about music is I love listening to classic FM now. I have it on in the car. I would have it on in the house. I love it. My regret is I don't know enough about it, and I would have loved, to have learned about the different. Composers, about their life. It was a different time. The school was only, when I went to the secondary school, it was only open a year, and then I went to it, right? So I suppose they were feeling their feet. But it would have been
more religious stuff as well, wouldn't it?
Oh, very much, yes. I mean, you knew all the hymns. Even in primary school, it was all hymns, and again, I'm not knocking it at all, but, sort of during May time when it was Our Lady's Month, and because I went to a convent school, and you were walked around the grounds in procession maybe 3 or 4 times during May, and thus it was all singing the hymns. Yeah. Same in secondary school, you learnt all the hymns for assembly, which was every day, and the whole school was there every day, and you sang hymns in. But from a musical point of view, of learning classical music, composers, when they lived, what they did, and dare I say it, when you get to a certain age, you can't retain what you're, the same. Like, when did Mozart live?
Yeah, but do you need to retain it, or can you find it out and then?
But I mean, do you know what I mean? I would love to be able
make
to
the connections.
There's a piece of music, and now I'm going to even forget what I was going to say. Like, I mean, I remember Kieran. We all know who Kieran is. But I remember us all sitting having our dinner one night, and the radio was on, and it was a radio, it wasn't a wireless. And a piece of music came on, and he was about 6. And he goes, "Oh, that's Vivaldi's Four Seasons." I near choked on my dinner, right? Because his teacher in primary school, when they were doing art, put on classical music, but she told them what it was.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that Kieran could still do that kind of thing. And so,
well, I mean, when we were at school, it would have been all sort of formal, the hymns and stuff for the choir, and then you were doing stuff for maybe the school anthem, stuff like that, and then going out to perform it to, like, in the city hall or the local groups or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you never really. I can remember then trying to get them to help let us do normal music, if you like, or pop music. Yeah. But go on, sorry.
No. There's a piece of music called Finlandia, and in the middle of it, there's a piece of it, and I know it as a hymn.
Right,
Right, and I'm going to forget that, and I do know who the composer of it is, and it's going straight out of my head.
Yeah.
And I love that. And that's what I mean, that when I learnt that hymn, if I had known that was from Finlandia, you would have gone, "Oh, right."
Yes,
right.
yes.
You didn't. And different even hymns now that I would know from being in the church choir. And then you look at it and you go, "Oh, Mozart wrote that." Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But, and that's one regret that I have. I don't regret that when I was singing with your dad, that we knew all the popular songs of those times, or he, as you know, did a lot of country and western stuff. And we were, as you know, invited to every party that was ever in our town, because sure, Jim Bartlett will come and sure, he'll have his guitar. And we went along. Now, we didn't look at it like that.
Aye.
We went along.
Yeah,
that was just what we did. And we had a great crack at it. When we went to Croagh, we were picked up at 4:00 in the morning in our town by a bus that was going to take us to climb Croagh and bring us straight back the same day. And we sang the whole way there. I'm not sure we sang the whole way back, but the crack was good. We didn't.
You sing going up the mountain?
But flip I sang like a bird when you got to the top of it. Thank God! Right? Deo gratias. Right? So, post music has always been part of my life. And then when you were all away, as you say, parties, birthday parties, or just maybe sometimes Dolly would have just lifted the guitar down and we sat and we sang. And when visitors came, it was like the show, like everybody had to get up and do their bit. I remember going to the Christmas school show. And
in secondary school?
In primary school.
Right.
When you were all at primary school. And this sort of was just what happened. Kevin you were asked to sing the song in your class.
Yeah.
Declan was asking his class. Ellie was asking her class. Roisin was asking her class, right? We were there. You had to sit through from P1 to P7.
Sorry,
right?
I didn't realise we were fucking boring.
Yes, you bored the life out of us. You didn't bore the life out of us. You bored the life out of the people that were there. And so we were sitting there, and these two ladies were sitting in front of us. And when it probably came to Roisin, they went, "Oh, not again! It's the Von Traps," right? They didn't realise we were sitting behind them, but because you all could sing, and so you were trundled out to do that too. But I mean, with great enjoyment, and we would have sat with you at night when you were learning the song, and breathe there, don't say that, but do it this way, and it was just part of our lives, you know. And I think, looking back on it, with the troubles, and like I'm not going to go on about the troubles, I mean. You were in the house. You weren't out running about the streets or whatever. And it was a nice way.
That's how I learned to harmonise, was with the ambulances going up and down
Was
the
it
road. Jesus Christ.
Now,
There we go.
this doesn't happen.
This is the action. There you go. Stuff
See, the
falling
minute
off
I
the
met
walls.
the troubles, the stuff started falling off the walls. Even the very thought of a bomb. Woo!
I knew that was going to happen. It stuck them up
But,
this morning, but not well enough.
Anyway, no, we had good fun doing it.
Yeah.
And when we went out, as you know, well, people that know us know, we had a Navy minibus. We toured all around Ireland on it, and we sang, and you sang, we called it Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and it was ours, and it was great fun, and we had hours of fun in that too.
You were saying there, like, most of the music you were doing in school was all sort of formal and quite rigid and had to be done in a certain way. Mm-hmm. If you think back to when you were in the house or when you were hanging out with your friends, what type of music would you have been listening to then? So, sort of say around secondary school up, like teenager
well,
up
then
to
it was
20s.
the early 60s.
Right.
So, the Beatles.
What was your favourite Beatles tune? Did you have a favourite one, or tell us about it? Like, what was it? Was it people coming around with records, or was it on the radio?
No. The first record I ever bought was Nancy Sinatra and Something Stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the song called?
Something Stupid, just like me. But we Mummy like bought the record player as a surprise, and we came in from school, and it was there like now. That was when we were at secondary school, and like probably like my youngest sister at the time, they bought her the music of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Right.
Oh my God. You're
Never
ready
off
to
the-
shoot
aye.
her and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It just went on and on and on. Right, let's go fly a kite. Let's go, right? So that kind of thing. Thursday night was Top of the Pops. Everybody just into the house, right? To see, and then I didn't like the Rolling Stones.
Yes.
I think you like the Beatles or you like the Stones, right? The Beatles for my mother frowned at them because
Really?
they're long hair.
I thought they would have been seen as quite clean
no.
cut
Oh, no,
compared to the
long hair.
Stones.
But see this. No, this is the Beatles were out first,
Right.
But she frowned upon them.
Right.
You know,
With their gyrating
Corner
and
Boys.
whatnot. Oh, the Corner Boys.
with
Oh,
long hair, like loads.
go on to
And then
McDonald's.
my cousin from England would have come over like in the summer for the 2 weeks in the summer, and she's actually younger than me, but she was allowed sort of to go. It wasn't really, she went to the cinema and she pleaded and begged for us to go to watch Help, the film. Right, so we're sitting there because we were very well brought up and we were very nice girls. Janice was up screaming at the top of her voice, and she's going to us, get up and scream, and we're looking, are you mental? In the middle of the cinema, like I had an old daft aunt one time who went to the same cinema and sat, because the rain was on the film, she sat with her umbrella up.
Here now.
Nuts.
Yeah.
But Janice was going, get up, scream. No, we didn't kind of do that here in Northern Ireland. You didn't
Scream for no reason.
No. And and I remember then in our last year at school, the Milan is to have, they didn't call it a disco, right? But there was one girl and she had all the Beatles LPs.
Oh, right, okay.
And she brought them in, and the tape recorder, the record player was brought up into the gym, and we were, it was magic. It was, I'll never forget that day because it was so, and it was so out of the ordinary for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I remember her bringing those in, and Aunt Campbell, you called her, like,
Right,
you know,
aye.
it wouldn't have been, she was in our class, but you know the way you had your own sort of special group of girls. She was there, she joined the class late, so, but she brought these all in, and oh my God, you just thought you had arrived, because like a whole different time. I left school when I was 16. You didn't go to dances at 16.
Right,
there was no such thing as junior discos or anything like that. I remember my sister.
Did not go to any barn raisins?
But my sister, sorry, going to a Kelly, I'm just ignoring him. She begged, could she go to this Kelly? And she said, I could go with her. Oh my God, the embarrassment. I took my dancing pumps from Irish dancing. That, you know, I went to Irish dancing for a year. It wasn't like it wasn't river dance. And this fella swung me around and of course let me go, and I flipped him up the hall like an idiot with these flipping dancing pumps on me. I think I stayed on my feet. I'm not quite sure.
You didn't fall for him?
No, I didn't fall for him. But there was no such thing but as those kind, you know, and you either only had the radio. Oh, and I remember when Mummy bought the first transistor radio. Oh my God!
Right. Well, tell us what that is then. Just like the wee DAB one you would have now, right, and it was. Did it have more channels on it, or? Yes,
but I mean, you still could get Radio Luxembourg. There was no such thing. I think when Radio 1 came out, they had Radio Caroline, which was the parrot.
Right.
The parrot. That's right. Was it?
Pirate.
Right.
But no, it was Parrot.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Parrot
radio station.
Right, it was Radio Caroline, and then Radio 1 sort of came in, I think, to do away with Radio Caroline. In my memory, I think that's the way it was, but I'm not sure. My older sister would have been more into it than I liked it, but it wasn't really
a focus.
It was no, it was there, and
like if you were in doing the dices, say like we just had the radio on.
No, I fought with our Brenda,
trying to get her to do the band or something.
Yeah,
but you know, like whenever we were doing the dices or tidying up on a Saturday, somebody always like our girls would have put on George Michael or something.
No,
you wouldn't have that.
No, absolutely not.
Right.
We sort of. This is going to sound as if we were very poor. We sat out on our coal bunker with the radio.
Fuck me.
But this was in the summer days, and you sat out there, and the girls, the two next door.
Oh, you would right.
They were concrete, right? So we sat up on those, and you had their radio or ours, right? And sat in that. And again, you just went to birthday parties in each other's houses. It doesn't sound like the mad 60s that people go on about free love and all this. No. Like, and I think because I don't mean I had a very strict upbringing. I didn't, but
sheltered,
there was people sheltered. There was people who did go out and scream at the Beatles, as we can see. You see it on the old film when they came here. People screaming and people queuing to see them was at the ABC in the town and all. That was never sort of maybe because
to go, were you?
I lying there up in the corner upside down. No, it was. I think maybe I sort of fell into an age. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say most of the ones doing that would have been maybe
if you
a bit
were
older,
sort of
teens or
when the 60s started. Say if you were a teenager then, if you'd been 16 or 17 then, yes, they're the kind of people, and they would have had their jobs and they would have been able to go out, right? Like, I don't want to give my age away. I don't really want to say it, you know. But when the 60s started, I was too young to be part of that.
Too young
so
for
by the
boys, too old for
toys. Just a little in between. I think that's probably what the problem.
Yeah.
If there was a problem, and then by the time I was 17, I had met your daddy. We were doing that kind of music, going to the youth club.
And and what type of music were you doing then? Again,
that would have been, there was, for the older people, which was us at 17, at a smoking room and all. Oh, absolutely. It was great.
Very fancy.
And again, it would have been Daddy, and he was in the folk group, and they would have had their guitars. And it was, again, that type of music now, because Jim was a year and 10 months older than me.
Cradle snatcher.
Absolutely. They ran dances and all in St. Gabriel's in the youth club, and they would have...
they would have done all their own decorations.
All their own decorations, and as our ones always laughed at him when he told them about putting crystals on the floor to make it slippy for them dancing.
Yeah, like wax crystals, really?
Wax crystals, but they were... Those dances were
I did a gig in Letterkenny a few years ago, and people started putting them out on the dance floor. I was like, what is going on?
Where is Jim?
But only I knew what was going on. Go ahead, sorry.
So I wasn't at any of those dances either. Do you know what I mean?
Why not? Would you
I
not have been
wasn't at
allowed?
the youth club, still at school.
Right,
I
okay.
said he was older than me. They would have been, but at that time they would have been in the folk group. They sang.
What was the folk
they
group
sang
called?
into the
Westerners?
Westerners, and they sang they sang at the Rosa Tralee Festival in Tralee. You know what I mean, and they sort of broke up because two of them wanted to do more like the Clancy Brothers
Aye.
type of, and other ones wanted to do sort of a broader folk kind of thing that maybe at that time I can't think of who would have been doing that kind of
Spinners,
folk. No, not even that kind. I'm thinking nearly like Johnny Cash type of
Oh,
thing,
right,
or
bit
those
more
kind
American,
of,
Americana.
yes, or the Slim Whitman, that
Right,
kind of.
right.
I know that's sort of late 50s, early 60s.
What's the other guy
but so-
called? Robbins? Marty
Robbins,
Yeah.
yeah, they did those. But then Jim's brothers had also been in folk groups, so they just, and they learnt the songs off records.
Aye.
And
And
then
off by heart too. Like there was no.
yes, they had. Yeah, there was no
wouldn't
way
have-
you were
yeah.
writing down the words
Yeah.
or anything. I mean,
I
I
can-
remember my
sorry,
sister Brenda. She was brilliant at shorthand. I was not. But if you wanted to learn, she was brilliant at this.
Mm-hmm.
You could put on a record, and she'd have taken the words
right.
down for you in shorthand and then typed them up for you. She was being nice, but so she was able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
There was no for younger people now going, why didn't you watch YouTube?
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was no easy way to learn it. You learnt it or
Yeah.
you didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, when then we moved on, like after we got married, and we both were in the church choir, and then I started. Well, there was a guy came to the door one Saturday morning, distraught because he had been asked by a couple to get your daddy to sing at their wedding, and he forgot. And he came over, banging the door. It's Jim in. I forgot to ask him, could he sing at a wedding? When is it? In 10 minutes.
Oh, Jesus.
Jim had laryngitis. And he goes, I can't do it. He says, but Sheila'll do it. And Sheila's legs buckled nearly under. And I went, I can. And he says, Sheila, just do anything. It doesn't have to be kind of wedding music, just that you're there. Which I went over and did. And then Jim was never asked to do a wedding again. I did them after that.
Thought you were going to say you started singing Smack My Bitch Up.
No. I started doing Beatles songs.
Yeah.
But even then, what I'm thinking about learning the words, when I was asked to sing the Ave Maria, Gounod's Ave Maria, what? Where would you learn that? And the lady that lived 2 doors below Mummy had Mario Lanza on a record, and that is how I learnt the Ave Maria. It never struck me to go to the woman who was playing the organ and saying, could you teach me it? I said I would learn it, and I learned it, right? But that's what I mean. There was no easy way to do it.
Yeah.
And so that's just my life story of music.
Yeah. But what stuff did you enjoy singing when you were younger?
How young?
Well, whenever you and Daddy were playing, say.
Oh, we were doing
What was your favorite? Can you remember your
the
favorite one?
Seekers. I remember us singing at our own wedding and singing Seeker songs.
And what was
It's
that?
a lesson too late for the learning.
Right, okay. What's that
And,
sort of go like? Can you remember?
I know I'm
no,
old.
I know,
I'm
but I
old,
mean-
I'm not that bloody old. Can you remember what the words were? Probably wasn't the best song
would
to
that
sing
have
at your
been?
wedding.
Aye.
That was sort of what we did. We sang those Seekers. Now, not
Right.
the new Seekers. They were
Right.
the Seekers songs,
Right, okay.
right? And you don't want me to sing that.
Well, I was gonna ask you to, but if you don't want to, it's
Just-
okay.
Well, I'll do a wee bit of it.
Yeah.
It's a lesson too late for the learning, made of sand, made of sand. In the wink of an eye, my soul is turning. In your hand, in your hand. Are you going away with no word of farewell? Will there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. You know that was the last thing on my mind. Not the most romantic song
class.
to sing at your wedding.
No, but class.
But, you know, so we did a couple of those. And
Daddy would have been accompanying you on
there's
the
no
guitar.
record. There's no video of that.
Yeah.
There's no, that would just be in people's minds.
Yeah.
Because there was no, when video came out, I know, like, I would meet people now. This is a story just of that kind of thing happening. When Fiona and I went to a night class one time, and there was a girl at the night class, and for a while I kept looking at her and going, I know that girl. I know that girl. I can see that girl. She must work in the doctor. She was dressed in white. Any time I pictured her, I thought dentists, doctors, white. And she came over to me one day, and after maybe a couple of weeks of being at the class, and she goes, I've been looking at you and going, I know that woman's face. I thought I was a woman, like. And she was still a girl. And she said, last night it was our wedding anniversary, and we put on our wedding video, and you were on it. You sang at our wedding, and that's why I could see her in white. So there would be that out there, and I would love if
somebody had
it,
video,
you know,
right.
or one of your daddy.
We'll put out a throw if anybody has any videos of their parents' weddings or granny and granddad's weddings.
I would just love it to get the songs off it for you, for you, the family, like just to hear when I could really sing, when I could hit those high notes. I know what you mean. And so then the two of us been in the choir. It kept the music going for us. Yeah. The music we liked, because we did like learning the church music. Jim himself was in, like, he sang in an operatic, like, what was it called?
Choral.
Yeah, he was in. Oh God, I'm going to forget the name of it, but it was
Showband.
No,
sorry.
No, it wasn't like opera. It was like an operatic thing that they did.
Right.
And so he knew all those again. That would have been classical music.
Where did he do that?
In Ardoyne.
Right. Okay.
Right, and then because he was in the church choir from he was 8, and then they moved into the Palatine choir.
Right.
Certain ones of them, Dolly was in that as well. Or your Dolly, like, and so that was like a specialist regroup, and Palatine is like a special kind of music.
Right, okay.
And so he loved Gregorian chant, and he loved all that. And well, we all know that, like, right through his life, that's what he liked. I sort of owe a whole lot of me doing music to him, because if I had met somebody else that wasn't playing the guitar, I wouldn't have learnt all the songs I learnt and then been able to pass them on to you, you know. Yeah. So for that, like, you know, we had a lovely kind of our kind of life, our kind of music that we passed on to use, which probably young people, I think
some of those songs still people are looking for.
But I think a home without music must be a sad kind of place, you know what I mean? Because I think even for kids now, instead of sitting on the computer or on literally with your face on the phone, if they were even learning, you know, if mommy and daddy were involved, or mommy or daddy or somebody was involved in teaching them these songs, and I think it's just lovely. It gives them a richness. It gives you something that you have all your life. So because daddy played the guitar, then you learned to play the guitar. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And the girls all sang and did all that. Yeah. So, and it all went on to be in school choirs, and then even as teachers in the teachers' choirs. So it's all, you know, and Fiona and I is in the ladies' choir, the Lisburn ladies' choir, she sings in. You know what I mean? So it sort of has carried on.
Yeah. So now, whenever you were getting us all round and stuff, what sort of music did you fancy? I can remember in the minibus, Daddy had an 8-track, and going out in the big cassettes, plugging them in. I would actually love to see those again, because I can remember they kind of had a like Sega Mega Drive kind of feel it, just chunking it into
it was big chunky things.
The big eject button on the side of it. But I can remember sitting in the minivan or in the minibus on my own, just listening to like Marty Robinson, the Everly Brothers.
Marty Robinson, the Everly Brothers.
Somebody asked a question, because I put this out the other day that Maw Bartlett was doing this, and they asked you, were you a Dolly fan? Would you have been a fan of Dolly Parton?
Absolutely not.
Why? Hussy?
No. Oh, no. I've never heard tell of her.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, like, you know, you have to remember the TV for us started at 5 o'clock at night, right? And you were in bed for 8 or 9, right? But even as adults, the TV stopped at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. You had BBC One, BBC Two, when new TV came out. I can remember Halloween, the Halloween night it started. Oh my God, what 2 channels?
Yeah.
You know, younger people don't, even your age, don't understand that. Yeah. You know, they look at you, you know, are you nuts? Yeah. Why were you not listening to all the music channels? There was no such thing.
Yeah.
Right? So, Dolly Parton, I was a woman before, and I love her music. Yeah. Love her the whole story of her, and I think she's brilliant. Mm-hmm.
You liked that one about the button on her coat or something, didn't you?
Oh God, the coat of many colours my mama made for me. Yeah, and it's a sentimental song, like you know what I mean.
Most of her stuff is like, but
I mean,
nothing wrong with it.
And then Garth Brooks and all that, as you when you were young, like and then you sort of brought Christy Moore into the house. It was as you grew up and brought in.
I can remember that.
Like there's no such word as use or usings, but as you all grew up. I still remember my English because we had a bitch of a teacher that wouldn't let me sing her.
But I can remember Christy Moore coming in. Did you get it for our funeral or something? It was Christmas?
Fiona.
Or it was on a Sunday.
Fiona was the one who brought Christy Moore into the house.
And it was live at the point,
personally,
wasn't it?
Right. Not personally, but and then we all got to sing Christy Moore songs, and then like you brought in your type of music, Declan brought in his Dunty Dunt, Kieran brought in that yelling, screaming as if he wasn't wise music. Oh God. And dyed his hair and oh my God, right, and wore gloves with no fingers on them, and you just had to go along with it and go, he's nuts. Right, and smile at him. Yeah. That's our baby. Remember the white suit? That was out the window, and the that nonsense came in. But then, because you were such a big Christy Moore fan, then you got all the big collection of Christy stuff, and Garth Brooks came in because of you. You brought that in too. Because when you then went to England University, that opened a whole new genre of music that we wouldn't have had. I think probably for all we're let on, we're all very open-minded in Northern Ireland. We're not. We're very insular and we're very parochial. And
what did you like the stuff that you know type of thing, or?
Yes, I think that kind of. I mean, don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. You know what I have said before about Simply the Best. I could tell you every word of the sash. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't that it was. You know,
shut off. Aye.
You weren't closed off, but I mean, you sang the sash, but you didn't know as you grew. You know, you learnt it because you went out to watch the Orange Men coming down the road and going past the chapel and nothing, and the walls didn't fall in or anything. But you know what I mean. Again, as I'm saying, that's very insular.
Yeah, it's Northern Ireland type of
us,
stuff.
Like, you know, and then I suppose being in the south of Ireland, the way they banned this and banned that and banned the other thing, all to keep it this insular Catholic. Yeah. Right, we have a hold between the church and the government, right? And we're not letting any of that English nonsense. All those songs in here, like the band books and the band songs and the, you know, they kept people down.
But it's opened up a fair bit now.
It's opened up now, but I mean, I'm saying when I was young, why would we not have screamed at the Beatles?
Didn't really.
Are you meant it?
Yeah.
You're right, the very idea of screaming, I just
What
could
was-
picture my mama if I had screamed
know.
at it.
At a
I do remember there was one night, and it was a Sunday night, and it was the London Palladium was on. That
Right,
was another
aye,
thing we got
yeah.
watching. And I don't know where Mummy and Daddy were out, but they were out somewhere, visiting, whatever.
Yeah.
And our Mary was going to the dance, and a friend of hers was in the house waiting for her to get ready. And I think it was Roy Orbison. It was on.
Somebody's asked about Roy Orbison as
Oh,
well.
where do you hear this one? And he's standing right and he's singing when my mother came into the living room. And this girl is kneeling in front of our TV saying, "Oh my God, Mary, look at his leg. Oh my God." Oh, I will never forget my mother. That girl was never allowed in our house again. And that is honest to God. Never have her, I can't even mention her name. She is never to be in this house again. What?
Was it his leg?
It was.
Okay.
All he was doing was shaking his leg as he was singing, and she was away with it, right?
Yeah.
If my mum had seen us watching Elvis, oh my God, right? So the kind of thing was Cliff Richard, clean cut,
Yeah.
nice fella,
Bachelor boy.
bachelor boy. Elvis, absolutely.
Tom
There
Jones,
was
would you
no
got away
way.
with Tom Jones?
That's actually it was. It wasn't.
Oh.
It was Tom Jones.
Then
was Tom
Then it
Jones.
wasn't his leg.
Well, she said it's like, oh, it was Tom Jones. It wasn't Roy Orbison. And God, she was down on her knees in front of the TV, like, yeah, you had to be of that kind to appreciate my mother's reaction, like, oh my God. She was never to be in our house again, and he was never, ever to be on that screen, like, you know. And so that's what I mean, but about that.
Aye, things were restricted.
Cliff Richard, yes, that's good. The
What was his, the
Spinners,
Shadows?
the Shadows, and all those kind of, like,
Doris Day.
no, not even.
No?
Because Doris Day was more movies. You don't know in
right.
some of her songs, like Que Sera, Sera. You don't know in that one. But it was like the groups of the 60s that we would have been, like the Rockin' Berries, Jerry and the Pacemakers, that loved all those, right? And like at that time, there was a Sunday night dance in St. Teresa's on the Glen Road in their parish hall.
Right.
It was a huge, big hall.
Were you allowed to go?
I was allowed to go to that. You know, the ball.
The mirror ball.
The mirror ball, like that was really...
Yeah.
I mean, you were going some. And I was allowed to go to that. But they had the Rockin' Berries over playing. Now, nobody, like, people now say who, but they were like one of the big
ones to
names,
have,
right? And they came over here. And I remember being absolutely spellbound because they were off the TV. They were famous and they were in St. Teresa's, right? Going to, like, I was allowed to go to that. Our Mary begged and pleaded for me to go to the Astor, to the dance. You said you were asked about the dances. I was terrified. It was down the town in this wee hall off Castle Street.
Right.
The wee street's still there.
Yeah.
But the hall, I don't even know what it is. We weren't allowed to go to Romano's. Absolutely not. There was drink sold there. Right. No. We're allowed to go to Romano's. We're allowed to go to the Orpheus. All those places.
Right.
No, the Astor. Right. I was terrified. And this was all, that was it. I think I went to Astor 3 times and that was it. I didn't like it. And probably then, because when I was 17, I met your daddy, and that was, we weren't going down that road anymore.
Yeah.
You know, our Mary went on, like, going out to all the dances, and she loved all that.
Yeah.
Maybe I was a card. I probably was. I was afraid of my own shadow.
Exactly.
And I still am.
Yep.
And probably that's why, you know, all the whole 60s thing, I don't mean it passed me by. You saw you saw them on Top of the Pops.
Yeah.
You saw them on the Sunday night at the London Palladium, and that was okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Did you ever want to be? I know you became, like, you were doing the weddings and singing there and singing for us and with us. Did you ever have any aspirations of doing music?
We sang it. We did a musical that this lady wrote for the youth club, and we did it. And I really loved doing that. But we were both in that. and I like doing that. I was never confident enough. Your daddy would have said to me, "You can't sing, just do it," you know. But to stand up in public, I think probably people look at me and go, "No, she's not shy." I would swallow myself. So I know I don't picture that. But I know I'm too shy to get up there. Now I would do it. Like, they ask me sort of to get up and sing in front of a crowd of people. Yes, absolutely, I can do that now. And I think doing weddings and all that there, I could do that now. Ask me to stand up in front of a crowd and read something, I would die.
Yeah.
I would absolutely die in case I made a mistake or in case I mispronounced a word, and I know I would be shaking in my shoes. So to get up, I enjoyed what we did when we were trying to raise money to build a church in Twinbrook. We did put on a whole concert and loved doing that. But again, it was safe because I was with all the people out of our choir that I knew. Your daddy was there. When I got up on the stage to sing, at that time he was with me. We did a duet. People were going, "Look at the way she's looking at him. She's married." And she's married to him. That's honestly, Mum and Daddy were at it and heard this and this girl. Look at the way she's looking at him. We were singing "When I Grow Too Old to Dream." I'll have you to remember. Of course I was looking at him singing, right? Look at the way she's looking at him. She's married. Hi, she's married to him. Anyway, so I suppose it wasn't wildly exciting, the music of like the 60s and all that there. My kind of music, I loved it. And I still do. I know.
Do you want to tell people about the time I took you to see one of your favourites?
Oh my God, will you hear this?
Go on, you tell them, because I want to hear your true feelings on it. I kind of got this. I bought you 2 tickets to go and see
Nana Muscuri.
Right, so she was a great singer.
Great singer.
Beautiful voice.
The White Rose of Athens. Right. Oh my God, the White Rose of Athens.
Look her up.
It is the most amazing song, right? So
I got her tickets because I bought them off the wrong site, Viva Go. I know you're laughing at me now, but I bought them for 250 quid. For 2 tickets.
£45 tickets he bought, but that's what
they charged me. Right.
So we thought breast seats in the house, right?
Breast seats in the house. There would needed to have been breast seats in
that. Best seats in the house, right? So over we go to London. I'd never been in London in my life, so even that in itself was a great adventure.
This was only 5 years ago? 6 years ago? 5 years ago? 5 years ago.
Maybe 4?
4, 5, 4, 5.
It wouldn't have been 5. Right?
Okay.
Anyway, off we went. Great adventure going to London. Jumping on our tubes and all that kind of thing. Anyway.
With this tube, go on.
With this tube and that tube, right? Anyway, off we go and we get to the concert hall. Oh my God, we were near sitting on the roof.
Yep, the nosebleeds.
First of all, Kevin went.
I tried to get the tickets. Yeah, I went to get the tickets.
He went to pick up the tickets and they looked at him as if he wasn't wise. And where did you buy these tickets? When he said, oh God, the money was gone anyway. Anyway, we got tickets. Nana Muscuri was like a dot on the stage. I couldn't even see her, right? Even with these glasses. Even if I had binoculars. Yes, oh my God.
Out of breath.
I thought it was like, it was worse than the gods in the...
No, she didn't say any of this to me.
Oh, I didn't say anything.
Until we were outside.
A lady turned around and asked me would I like to look through her opera glasses. My God, I still couldn't see her, right? She was like a dot. Now, wait a wee minute. The music was still great.
Yeah.
We could hear her, but I couldn't see her. And for what I knew he paid for the tickets, right? I appreciated it very much. It was my sort of, I've never, nor would I ever pay money like that to go and see anybody. If God Almighty was appearing, I would not pay that. I would wait till he came to me and said, it's time, right?
Wait until it was on Prime.
Time's up, right? But you know, when you go a bit, £70 a ticket, the power leaves me when you say that. But it was supposed
to be her last concert ever.
It was.
Her last tour.
It was her last tour, right? And obviously she was a younger woman singing, as myself, you can't hit the high notes. You can't sustain that.
Oh,
she was very, very good, but you knew some of the... And she did sing. I loved her singing, but I loved her singing the songs I knew.
Yeah.
She sang an awful lot of stuff that I didn't know. But
Right.
obviously, there was people there who had travelled all around the world with her who did know the music. It was a lovely concert. But
we're sitting outside then, the concert hall, having a cup of coffee and some wee buns beside the Thames. And I said, so, now that you can say you've seen Nana Muscuri, and she goes, well, I can't really, because I didn't. I was like, fuck.
okay, I didn't
Me.
see her. And he knows I didn't see her. Right? I heard her. Right? But see,
What other concerts have you been to?
oh my God, David Gray.
No, don't even start.
Now, wait a wee minute.
Go on.
Wait a wee minute.
Go on.
I can listen to David Gray's music.
Uh-huh.
I know he hates me to say this. Half time I can't hear what he said. Okay, maybe I need a hearing aid. Maybe I do. I know I do, but not to hear David Gray.
He does mumble sometimes.
He mumbles a lot. Now, I will say the setting of it in Downpatrick, in the church in Downpatrick, was amazing.
Yep.
I have been to see Christy Moore on quite a few occasions, and I have been in small settings in Dungannon, there. I can't remember the
Armagh
other
Hotel.
places. The Armagh Hotel. Those small settings, I don't know if I would like to go and hear Christy Moore in a big, like the waterfront or somewhere like that, because of the small places that we've been to see him.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
More
nearly
intimate.
sitting, and like the perspiration when he's putting the passion into the songs and all. It's amazing, right? So I love, but again, because that's my kind of music,
Yeah.
right? David Gray is not
know,
my kind of music, right? There's some of his songs I really do like. What concerts have I been to? I wouldn't have been.
I don't think I've been to that many either.
You know the way like kids now, they're going, it's only £80 a ticket. It's only £95 a ticket. The power leaves me when they say that. I wouldn't pay that.
I wouldn't pay that to see anybody.
I absolutely wouldn't. Give me the CD and I'll listen to it in the house, okay, and I can picture what they look like the way I do with Nana Muscuri. But when I went home, I bought like 2 or 3 of her CDs, and I do love listening to them. Again, I am a CD person because I'm the age I am. You can see the hair's going white at the side, so you know,
Salt and pepper.
go along. Absolutely.
Somebody had asked, do you think guitar music is dead?
No, absolutely
No?
not. Absolutely not. I hate synthesized stuff, right? Not hate.
Aye, but a lot of it is now.
Yes, the sound of a guitar and the skill to play a guitar and the passion you can put into playing a guitar, right?
Yeah.
I just love it. I love the sound. Now, even with Kevin, I'll tell you, if he's tuning it when he hasn't got his wee tuner with him, right? If he goes, bing, I know exactly the way it sounds because I listened to Jim tuning the guitar so many times. And I know in my head, and
No, it
I'll say to
doesn't
you,
sound-
that's not right. Now, don't ask me what's not right. Don't ask me if it's D minor or G H.
Imagine doing that. Imagine sitting tuning a guitar and somebody going, that's not right, but I couldn't tell you what it is, right?
Well, that's the way my mummy said when I was learning the Ave Maria. I can't sing it, but that's not right. Right? So I
Soon
kept
figure it
going.
out, don't
She
you?
said
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
right.
yeah.
But no, guitar music, no, I don't think, because you can't take a piano with you everywhere. You can't take drums with you everywhere.
But you see-
you can take your guitar.
Yes, well, doing live music, far easier doing that type of stuff live rather than sitting down. But I mean, you've got sort of smaller, I have a wee MIDI controller and all there, and you can do loads of different things. Most of the stuff that's coming out now, I think, is heavily influenced by the recording programs and the Logic Pro and things like that, and the technology.
That's
But I
it.
mean, you could say that about 80s music, 90s music.
Things
then-
move on, right?
Yeah.
It's like saying, you know, we're sitting here and that laptop would fit into a wee bag and away you go, right?
Yeah,
Think of the BBC computer we had,
I know.
right?
Yeah.
Things move on, things evolve, but there's things that won't change. And I think having a guitar, or like the ability to play the piano too, right?
Yeah.
As I say, you can't take a piano with you. You can take a keyboard, but it's not the same.
Aye.
You can lift the guitar and you have music
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
And if you, and I'm not saying like stop in the middle of the town, I don't mean that. if you're out, we've started to go out, sitting outside having a cup of tea,
Yep.
and you lift your guitar. Before long, there'll be people standing listening to you, right? There's something special to me, anyway. I don't think guitar music. I don't think it'll ever die.
I don't think it will.
If you can have, and I do mean the acoustic guitar. You need a big lead, son. You're taking your electric guitar everywhere, right? But if you can lift the acoustic guitar, you have music right there, and you can play. I'm not saying you're going to play Beethoven's Sixth Symphony or anything, but there's music there that is, as I said at the start of this, that is Beethoven. Yeah. Or is.
Well, I mean, there's loads of singers like Sting and things like that have said that they directly take things from Beethoven and Vivaldi and stuff like that and put it into their own music. Have you got a favourite song ever? Something that really...
Oh my God.
Desert Island Discs. We'll give you 3 CDs to take onto your desert island. What would they be? I can hear beeping as well. It sounds like our lunch is ready.
It sounds as if our lunch is boring to folks.
How long's that been going on?
I don't know, but the potatoes are going to be walking in here in a minute and go, "Are you deaf?" And I'd say yes, and so will you. 3 CDs to take. But one of them would have to be classical music, and if I could get a compilation of different things that, and it doesn't have to be, there's what I think is heavy classical music. I don't mean that kind of thing. I mean, just nice, light-hearted,
bit of Strauss.
Good Strauss. I love Strauss. I really do love Strauss. Love the New Year's Day concert with Johann Strauss. Some Mozart, and there's things you'll hear maybe when you're watching University Challenge. You go, God, I know that. But ask me who did it, who arranged it, or who wrote it. I don't know. So it would have to be a classical one. Right. It would probably, if I only could take 3, then probably one would be Christy Moore as well.
Live at the Point, should you?
Live at the Point.
Or here, go for the compilation pack again. Yeah. You get all of them.
Yes, but who else?
Nana Muscura.
See, I do like Nana Muscura, as I say, again.
You've managed to hurt my feelings, because another question somebody had asked was, what's Maw Bartlett's favourite Kevy B song? She doesn't want any of mine on the desert island.
Oh, wait a wee minute. Maw Bartlett's favourite one has to be No Tango. Yeah. I love it because of what it means. But the other ones that he has written, because they mean so much to Kevin, and I was sort of there when he was telling me what they were about. Summer Rain. We still say if we're out in the car together and the cows are laying down. Right? So there's actually, and this is going to sound, okay, because this is man. It's not because I'm his man. I just think he doesn't give himself enough credit for how good the songs are and what they mean. So that's what I like, because they mean something to you, and they mean...
I'd probably be on the same island with you, so I'll sing them for you. What would
so
be
I'd
your
say
third?
If you're taking that third, you haven't brought out a CD. When they go on a CD, I'll take it with me. The third one be?
Bit of Western music, you like Garth Brooks too, don't you?
I like Garth Brooks, but I sort of don't like who Garth Brooks has become. So I'm very, oh God, I'm very wishy-washy about people. Don't behave like that.
You're running out of time to choose.
I didn't know it was on the timer. Is it because the potatoes are burning?
Well, don't want the kitchen going up.
So we'll say Christy Moore, the classical, and probably a compilation of the 60s, the later 60s stuff. Right, because this is going to sound, oh God help her, I don't mean it like this, Slim Whitman and all those are too personal to me at the moment, and I couldn't take those. I mean, I have actually one in the car that isn't opened, and it'll never get opened. So that's so Desert Island Discs, that's my 3 things that I'll take with me.
Good.
So I hope I haven't bored the life out
Not
of
at
people.
all, not at all. I thought it was very interesting. Great. I loved your guitar. Give us a tune on the guitar before we go.
And you've got a song, and you've got a guitar lesson.
Yep.
And I did it without my pedal. And right, here we go. Right, that's it on, folks. Oh my God, do you hear me?
Go on. See what you can make up. Give us a song about something. Oh,
No, I'm not. Oh,
we're done.